Welcome to Law Officer Live. It is April 5th, 2017, if you can believe that. It's Wednesday evening, and we are very excited about what we're going to bring you today. On with us later is the founder of the Fallen Project. His documentary, the Fallen documentary, is airing this weekend for the first time in the world. His podcast is on our website. He's going to be live on our show today, and you're not going to want to miss that. But before we get to that, we're going to ask you to spread this show around. It's the only live show, only show period for law enforcement by law enforcement. And we're bringing a narrative and a truth that no one else is talking about. You're definitely not going to get this on the mainstream media. So we need to get this in front of your friends and family. So we're going to ask you to, whatever you're watching this on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or the front of our website, it's all playing at the same place, to take that link and spread that around. Obviously, it's easy on Facebook. Hit that share button and encourage your friends to watch it. And if you're not watching this live, all of these episodes are archived on our website. The week show is archived on the front of our website, but all the past weeks are on the link Law Officer Live, located at the top of our website. We would encourage you to spread those around as well. We want to get as many people exposed to the truths of this profession as possible, so please do that. As you noticed, I'm wearing a different shirt this week. This is a shirt for Alert International. It's the Association of Emergency Law Enforcement Drivers. It's essentially the group of trainers that train law enforcement how to drive a police car, whether that's in pursuit or emergency response or regular driving. And it's important to us for a couple of reasons. I was the president of that organization for a couple of years. It was a great honor, and they're still doing some really, really great things. And it's the law enforcement desk, the leading law enforcement desk, is vehicle related. So this is one of the most important organizations that we need to expose our officers to and our trainers to. Their annual conference is going to be in Kansas City, Missouri, the week of September 25th of this year. We're going to be there. I'm going to be speaking there as well. We want to encourage you to spread that message. It's a really great organization. We wanted to tell them we're thinking about them. They've got an incredible job to do. The leading cause of death for 18 of the last 20 years has been behind the wheel of a car. We tell police officers that all the time. We write articles about that, and we talk about those are the extreme dangers that we face. We all think that it's this, the bad guy with the gun, and there is a danger there. We obviously face that. But the truth is, the most dangerous statistically that we're all under is behind the wheel of a car, whether that's drunk drivers or pursuits or a whole host of things. We all see those tragedies occur. So we want to support that organization. We want to encourage you to know about it. You can find out more at alertinternational.com, and of course their conference website at alertconference.org. So be sure to check that out, and hopefully we'll see you in Kansas City at their new driving facility in September. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our sponsor. And the sponsor for today's show is Blue Armor Supplements, a very unique company. We wouldn't be talking about them if we weren't using them ourselves and didn't know the benefits of them. And it's the only supplement company for law enforcement by law enforcement. And why is that important? And why is it important that they are GMP certified, good manufacturing practices? Because most supplements, in fact almost all the supplements I see at the local supplement store or the local retail store, are not GMP certified. And why is it important that supplements are GMP certified? Because what the bottle says it has in it, you better make sure it has in it. We've had horrible reports of officers that were taking a general supplement over the counter and they popped positive on a drug test for the department. And of course, they can tell the department all day long, I was taking this supplement that's legal. All they know is what the drug test says. So if you take a supplement that's GMP certified, you know for a fact It's the actual stuff that's in the bottle. And so this company has come up with 5 products that make a police officer do their job better and do their job safer. And what we want to highlight this week is a product called Lean. Dr. Mark Sherwood has been here on the show and said this is the most unique weight loss product on the market. No stimulants. It's not going to make you jittery. It's not unhealthy. It's all natural stuff. And when we say GMP certified, that's the symbol right there, and what the bottle says it has in it, it actually has in it. So we've had some great reports, great success here. I recently was emailed a photograph from an officer out in Rhode Island that had lost about 30 pounds taking this product. And so it's on our website right now, but I'm going to give you a little hint. If you're watching tonight, Wednesday, there's a 10% off code. Just type in the word excellence, and you'll get 10% off anything on the website, but do it quick and do it tonight if you can. So check Lean out and check our other products out. We're really excited to be partnering with them. We're very humbled that they have come on board with us. Our article of the week, very sobering article. The title of the article is 13 Days and 9 Police Officers. Now this has changed. Since we ran the article a couple of days ago, it's 13 days and 11 police officers. And this article drew massive attention worldwide. On our social networks alone, we've reached almost 1 million people with this article. And then this article was shared on other large national platforms. We just received correspondence from a USA Today reporter that wants to follow up on this article. And this article was written by our very own Karen Solomon, who has written some of the most unbelievable stuff for us on officer suicide and PTSD and emotional wellness. Of course, last week, if you missed last week's show, you got to tune in because we had Susan Simmons on that show who runs Under the Shield, which deals in the same topic. We are committed to this topic. And some may say to our negative, to our detriment, but I don't think so. I think the fact that we're talking about it, Karen and Susan are doing such great work here, and Karen's article this week really touched a lot of people. And the premise of the article was, we've had 11 suicides in 13 days, and nobody knows about it. It's not in the news. Nobody's talking about it. There's not going to be a funeral with honors. It's kind of swept underneath the rug, and it's silent. And what Karen talks about in this article is we've got to start noticing this. And in fact, many of these suicides are predominantly done because of law enforcement. It's because of what the job has done to people and the failure of coping mechanisms that sometimes comes with that. Our police officers are exposed to some of the worst society has to offer, and it shouldn't be a surprise that in 2016 alone, we have 134 reported suicides in corrections and law enforcement. That's just reported. We know that is underreported. Karen Solomon is doing an incredible job doing that. In fact, we are very honored to be partnering with her on a brand new website called Honor Them. And that website is going to be kind of like a ODMP, officer down type site, but it's going to be for officers that have committed suicide. And we've gotten a few people behind the scenes that have said, well, you know, you ought to be careful about doing this. This is a controversial topic. And I would say, why? It's controversial because we're not talking about it. It's controversial because we don't understand it. It's controversial because we're not doing anything about it. And we made a commitment, and I have to thank Jason from Rhode Island. He's a cop there. I don't know if I can give his full name out. I'm just going to say Jason from Rhode Island. He told us about a year ago. He called me and he said, you know what, Travis? I see what you're doing there at Law Officer. I feel like this is a perfect thing for you. You need to really consider officer suicides. And I've thought what many people have thought. I thought, man, I don't know if that's best for business. I don't know if that's the best thing to do. But as you know, here at lawofficer.com, we don't necessarily do what is best for business. We do what's best for the profession, what's best for you. And we want to serve you. And we know that some people don't like to read about it, but let me tell you, a lot of people are reading about it. The article that Karen wrote this week, our article of the week, has gotten so much attention. It tells me we are doing the right thing. And even though it may be uncomfortable for some, it sure beats the top 10 things you know you're a policeman, or the top 5 things that you know you're a policeman's spouse. And all these things, I'm not bad-mouthing them. I guess I sort of am. They're fun to read. It's entertaining to read. But there's more to this, what we're doing, than entertainment. Yes, we want to entertain you. That's part of our job. That's sometimes how we pay the bills. But we need to inform you where it can save you. And that's not just officer survival, officer safety and tactics. That can also be emotional well-being and you know, the things that has to be done to make sure we live this career healthy. We've partnered with Susan Simmons at Under the Shield, and their 1-800 number is an excellent resource. And why we love their 1-800 number is because when you call that number, you're talking to non-mandatory reporters. And what that means is if you go to a psychiatrist or maybe your local doctor or your department doctor, there's always this thought in the back of our mind, if I say something to them, would that trigger them to go tell my bosses? And so what that ends up doing, because there are laws in some states where if they hear certain things from you, they have to go report that to your agency. And that causes concern, rightfully so, for many police officers, and what they end up doing is they don't seek help. And that's why it was important for us to partner with Under the Shield, because their counselors are non-reporting counselors. They're still trained. They are, in fact, Susan, the founder, has a graduate degree in counseling, and she's been in the business for almost 3 decades, but they didn't set for the board exam, which would make them mandatory reporters. And I think there's some value in that. And there could be arguments either way. That's the way we've chosen to go. We want our officers that are seeing this number that needs help, even if they're family, we want to make sure they can do that with confidence that it's not going to make them lose their job. And we are hearing stories left and right on how that has helped people. We know that Karen Solomon with her article has helped people, and we just can't be more thankful that she has chosen to write exclusively for us on these topics. And there's much more to come, so please stay tuned for that. And in addition to that, we've said we're all in, and when you're all in, you got to be careful. We've also promoted an article this week from Coach JC from Fit First Responders, and this is a pretty incredible article on the heels of last weekend's suicide in Houston, where an on-duty Houston sergeant committed suicide in a police precinct. Coach JC is donating $100,000 of scholarships to his phenomenal online program, Fit First Responders. So go check that article out on our website, lawofficer.com, and find out what he's doing. I communicated with Chief Acevedo today and advised him of that, and that they're going to be working with Houston PD and basically just offering that service that costs money for free. You can get that service for $20 a month. We encourage you to go to our website, go to our fitness page. You can find out all about that. And I can speak personally. Once again, we're not going to talk about anything that we're not personally doing ourselves, so we make sure we're giving you the right information, that it is a help both physically and it's a help both emotionally. And I can't encourage you more to go read what JC has to say and to join his online program. So it's been a busy week. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Be sure to share this around. I mentioned earlier we're going to be speaking to Thomas Marchese with the Fallen Project at fallenproject.com. The documentary he's got coming out is going to blow your mind. And the world premiere is this weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. And we're going to have a reporter on the ground watching that premiere, writing about that premiere, and sending that review straight to you from lawofficer.com. But before we get to Thomas, let's watch this incredible trailer from the Fallen Project.
Is that at or by the police?
Shot at the police. Officer down, what? The county got shot.
Telling my 4-year-old and my 5-year-old that her daddy was shot and killed.
I could tell by looking at her that it was not going to be good. You just know. And I went back and I told the chief that she wasn't going to make it.
I don't think we'll ever forget. I don't think anybody has. I don't think we ever will, like I said, but I don't think we're ever going to be as close as we were that moment.
A police officer is killed in the line of duty every 53 hours in the United States.
I can't delete his number. It's almost like if I delete his number, I'm admitting that he's not here. You know, that he's gone.
South Sac has an 1199 in progress. Officer down. Shots have been fired. When we have further, I will update you.
They say time will heal. The only thing I can do now is hope I live long enough.
These guys have hearts behind the badges, and I don't think the community knows that.
I'm a person just like you're a person, but I have one of the most complicated jobs that there is.
Yes, he was a cop who was killed in line of duty, but you know, that tends to go away. People have short-term memories. I remember the person, I remember the cop.
And what you just watched was the Fallen documentary, the trailer. It is premiering next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. And we have with us now Thomas Marchese, and Thomas is the man behind the trailer. He was a full-time police officer and got this idea to do this incredible documentary. Thomas, things must be really, really exciting right now for you.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's 5 years in the making, so.
So you started this in 2011, and you started to raise money for this, and this must have been just some sort of crazy, wild idea to your coworkers, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, well, you know, you say you're going to make a movie, and the initial thought is, you know, I'm going to run around with an iPhone, and, and when people finally saw it, they're like, wow, it looks like a movie.
Yeah, who knew a cop could do a movie, right?
Exactly.
So what got you interested in filmmaking, sir?
Well, I was a still photographer for a long time, and the technology kind of crossed over in the last 10 years or so. So it kind of gave me the tools affordably, because now, you know, to make this movie 10 years ago, you know, I would have had to have a $150,000 camera. So now things have changed in that arena.
Well, the movie's incredible. The scenery is incredible. And of course, I've had a little bit of a backstage look at this, and what people are going to see when they get exposed to this, it's going to blow them away. And just the quality. And I'm sure that that's something you set out to do, is to make sure if you were going to do it, you were going to do it right. And I know that had to do with fundraising as well. And I know, like anything else we do, it takes money to do it right. Tell us a little bit about your ups and downs when it came to the fundraising behind this project.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't hard to find support. It was just hard to get the word out and actually let people know what we were doing. So, and it's just been a slow road in that regard. But, you know, we got here, we got the movie made, and it's, you know, people are going to see it finally.
Well, tell everybody just kind of about the genesis of the movie and kind of what it is. Obviously, I think from the trailer, they really understand that it's about fallen officers, but I think you were trying to capture something that not a lot of people have been able to capture, which is sort of the humans and the person behind the badge, and kind of tell our audience about the movie.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, it's not political. It's not we're not out to make a statement other than just that cops are human, you know, and this is what they go through, and people don't realize, you know, they hear on the news, they'll hear that an officer was killed in the line of duty, and they'll have whatever reaction they have to it, and then it's like, well, okay, then the next news story comes on. But it, you know, there are so many people that it affects, you know, from the families to the agencies to the communities they work with or work in. It's a really far-reaching tragedy when something like this happens, and it deserves some attention, and it deserves some of these stories deserve to be told, and we're just trying to do, you know, tell a little piece of them.
Well, you're obviously going to be shining a huge light of attention on the issue. Of course, we just found out today that line of duty deaths have increased 10% this year from last year. It's just a never-ending story of tragedies, what it seems like, and you've done an incredible job. And I know that your family had to have been tremendously supportive of what you were doing over these last several years. I want to let you have an opportunity to give a shout out to those that have really given you the greatest support.
You know, I can't even say enough about everyone that's helped out with this thing, because for my family, I've been, you know, my wife and kids have been ridiculously understanding. You know, I'm flying all over the country all the time on vacations, and, you know, during birthdays and everything else. To finally see it happen is just pretty amazing. And then also the people that have supported this thing from day one, because we've had some incredible support from the different regions we've been to and from different police organizations throughout the country. It's just been unbelievable. And all the way back, you know, several of them have been supporting us all the way back since before we even had a frame of film shot. So it was just kind of blind faith in what we were doing. And it's really nice to have this thing in our hand now to show them. Can't wait.
And one of the incredible stories that won't be on film that not a lot of people know about is, as you were 3 years into the making of this, Thomas, you were actually involved in a critical incident at your full-time law enforcement job that forever altered your life and career. And it's just really ironic that this movie was what you were making when that happened. So tell our audience a little bit about what happened.
It actually is featured in the film. I went round and round about it for a long time, but I decided ultimately that even though I didn't want to be in the movie, it's kind of it was the right decision to make. It was the only decision to make. About 3 years into the movie, I responded to a domestic call. This 17-year-old kid was murdering his grandparents with a kitchen knife. And my partners and I forced entry into the house, and the kid turned on me, and I grabbed him by the neck. It's the first thing that I had. My weapon was drawn, and he just started stabbing me in the ribs. I thought I was being punched. I didn't even know I had been stabbed at the time. Stabbed me through the side, up through underneath my armpit, came out the front, severed my rotator cuff from the back, and was pretty bad. Then there was about another 2-minute fight, rolling around, and before I realized, I was bleeding everywhere. And my wife is a fire engineer, and she actually responded to the scene. She got dispatched to the scene, was first EMS there. She actually loaded me on a helicopter. And yeah, I'm lucky to be here. Really, really lucky to be here. So having that happen in the middle of making this movie and telling all these stories, it just seemed like the right decision to have it in the movie, because it's kind of gets the message across that, look, this can happen to any one of us. I'm really lucky to be here.
That's really incredible, and just incredible that you were in the middle of this documentary when this very thing happened to you. And we can't thank you enough for persevering through that. And you're here with us today, and you've continued on. And the premiere is happening this weekend in Phoenix. Tell us a little bit about that premiere. And I know you have one coming up in Washington, D.C. as well.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're going to be this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Phoenix Film Festival. The world premiere of the movie is Friday night at 7 p.m. It's the first time it's ever going to be shown on a screen. And then they're also showing us midday on Saturday and Sunday, and you can get tickets to those showings, all three of them, on the website, fallenproject.com. And then after that, on May 15th, on Police Memorial Day, we're showing the movie in D.C. And there's 2 showings to that as well, and those are also tickets to that are also on the website. Really excited.
It's incredible stuff. Of course, it took a team to make it, and I love the team you assembled. You can see all that at fallenproject.com, but you assembled a team of police officers from across the country, but also some elite Hollywood personnel. Kind of tell us how that team came together.
I had been kind of tiptoeing into the world of filmmaking for a couple years prior to making this movie, and my producing partner Brenda Strong, she's amazing. She's been in everything from Dallas to Desperate Housewives and Fear the Walking Dead, and she's my producing partner along with her husband. They're an amazing creative team, and they actually got me a meeting with Michael Chiklis, who was one of my very, very top choices, if not my #1 pick to narrate this thing, and he ended up believing in the message, and he did it. So Michael Chiklis from The Shield. Vic Mackey's narrating the movie. Pretty amazing.
It is amazing, and that must give instant credibility to many of the cynical cops, so to speak, that we know exist out there. And so here you have Michael Chiklis, and I have to imagine what that looked like. Here you are, you're a street cop, and you're making this movie for the first time movie maker, and you get a meeting with Vic Mackey. What was going through your head when that was going on?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit of a fanboy, so
yeah.
it was pretty exciting. But then, there's another side of me that's like, again, that's professional. That I like to think I'm a legit filmmaker. So I wanted this thing to be done right, and I think that's actually a testament to us actually getting him, because it was done right. Because obviously before signing on, he wanted to see the movie, and beyond believing in the message, which he does, he also wanted to make sure it was a good movie, and it was professionally done. So that was pretty vindicating there too, that he signed on, and he's just been incredibly supportive. Amazing.
It's incredible stuff, Thomas Marchese. You've done a service to law enforcement that will outlast you and I's careers, or maybe even here on Earth. I mean, what a wonderful legacy that you've provided for us. And here we are, the premiere's coming up in a few days. What is going through your head as we speak right now?
I'm just excited, man. It's been me and a select team of people locked in a dark room making this thing come together for 5 years, and we're actually going to go into a theater and show it to a couple hundred people at a time. It's pretty exciting, and we can't wait. We're
going to have a reporter on the ground broadcasting from the premiere in Phoenix, Arizona, Friday night. The article will be out shortly thereafter, and we're going to give it, I can tell you it's going to be a thumbs up, because I've seen parts of it already. It's absolutely incredible. And I would ask you, Thomas, once this movie's out there, you said you're a legitimate filmmaker. You've proven it with this movie. What's next for you?
A movie. Where I've got a
You
couple
could just
projects.
you could just tell us right now. You could just tell the world right now on Lobster Live what's coming up.
You know, I made a short film a couple years ago that did pretty well, and it's kind of begging to be a feature. It's a thriller, kind of along the lines of Seven, something like that. But it's that might be my next project. But I have a couple other things in the works too. A sci-fi project that we're playing with. So it depends on funding. It depends on what we get written and polished and finished next. But yeah, I'm excited about what's to come.
Thomas Marchese, we're a huge fan. You can find out more at fallenproject.com and check out our review of this incredible movie this weekend. You've been watching Law Officer Live. Thank you for joining us. We can't thank you enough. Be sure to spread the message to your friends and family. This is the only live show for law enforcement, by law enforcement. As you can see, we're bringing on some phenomenal guests each week for you. And Thomas, sir, thank you for joining us this week.
Thanks so much for having me.
Check it out. Fallen Project, the Fallen documentary. You're going to want to get it. The premiere's in Washington, D.C. during Police Week and Phoenix, Arizona this week. It's coming to a city near you. We will keep you updated. And thank you so much, Thomas, and thank you for watching Law Officer Live.